Well, Merry Christmas. It's good to be together on this December, and we thank you for coming out tonight and supporting our 7 graduates that we have tonight. We got a big crowd and an exciting time for us, so we thank you for coming out to support us. I have a number of things I want to mention. First, though, is I want to mention that I want you guys to know that I went and bought my Christmas tree and my garland and got everything up at the Saving Way. So there's plenty of trees and wreaths and garlands available. So if you haven't, if you're behind me, you need to hurry up and try to catch up and get your trees. So you can get that at any one of our Saving Way thrift stores. We'd love to have your support. You know, this year's been a great year, and I mentioned the other night that God's blessed us in a lot of ways. Tonight will be the end of our graduations for this year, and we will have had 43 graduate from His Way this year. The first time we've ever had women in our ReDiscovery program graduating, so that's a first for us. We had one earlier this year and one tonight, so that's a great achievement for us, and we're excited about that. And also, we helped get started our outreach to Atlanta this year, and so we moved 4 guys over and 1 family over to move from common surroundings to go somewhere very different and very new to help start His Way there. And so we're excited about that. Someone and I are going over next weekend to visit and encourage them, but they're doing well. And we also opened our first thrift store that we actually built the building and we own the building and that type of thing over here on Winchester, and that's gone great. And so it's really encouraged and emboldened our vision about what our thrift stores can be as a outreach to the community as well as a support to our program here. So we're excited about that and excited about what God has in store for us for this coming year. You know, I was thinking about Christmas, and for me, Christmas, when I was a kid growing up, Christmas was always inaugurated with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Those are pretty much the things. There was staples that said, it's time for Christmas to start. I realized this year it started like at Halloween, but normally it started with Rudolph and the Grinch. And one of my fondest memories is that in the day that I was growing up, variety shows were a big deal. And I remember there was always an Andy Williams Christmas special in which you had all these people on there singing Christmas songs during that time. And I was thinking about that, I guess, tonight as we were gathering together, because tonight is kind of like that. This is a variety show. We have a lot of different people graduating from a lot of different experiences, and there's a lot of variety in what is happening tonight. As I mentioned, we're having our second sister graduate from our ReDiscovery program. We have 2 brothers tonight from our ReDiscovery program, as well as one-year graduate from our advanced recovery group, and then 3 9-month graduates. So we got a lot of different kind of walks of life, a lot of different perspectives at recovery, all accomplishing important achievements tonight. So for that, I'm extremely grateful. And to present our first honor tonight is the person who runs all our administration over here, as well as works tirelessly to support the Women's ReDiscovery Program. And so we're thankful to have Greta Ashburn coming up and sharing about our first graduate.
A little bit of history on ReDiscovery is we started right before COVID. COVID shut us down for about 3 or 4 months. And then July, we started back in 2020. And in that year and a half, we now have 6 participants. We had 1 sign up this last week, so we're excited about that as well. It's been growing, it's been reaching people, it's been changing lives, and it is an awesome ministry for me to be a part of. I feel honored to even be there. So I'm going to ask the people who are part of the ministry to stand up. If you help in any way, volunteer, teach. We have 6 people who are helping, 1 staff and multiple volunteers. And I just want y'all to see these ladies. These ladies are the ones that help keep it going. They teach the Bible study, they teach the MRT, and I have the easy job of just kind of being there and making sure everything's happening. So It's just a blessing to work with you all. Now I'm going to introduce our second graduate, Tasha Acton. She can come up here. I'm going to share a few things about Tasha. We first met at the Saving Way. She was doing orientation with me, and that was about a year ago.
Yes.
So she started as a thrift store employee, and I met her there, and then got to know her in other ways, and I'm thankful for that. She's precious. There's a lot of things I love about her, but I'm going to share just a few here. The first thing is you always know what she's thinking. You don't have to worry about that. And it's in a funny way, but it's also in a pure and sweet, precious way. She asks great questions. She wants to learn. She wants to understand things. And I absolutely love seeing that. I've seen a lot of growth, and I'm going to step aside. I'm going to let her share, and then we're going to present her certificate.
For one, I just want to say thank you from ReDiscovery, from all the support that I've had from my family, from ReDiscovery, from my family at the Saving Way. A year ago, I had got clean, and I relapsed because I didn't believe in higher power. Now, since I got clean again, it's showed me that I can't do it by myself, that I have to have someone to basically to guide to. If I have any questions, he leads me right to the right direction. And I've learned that without that, I would not be where I am today. I lost my kids. I still don't have my kids, but I get to see my kids every day. I'm working through that. I have everything that I lost back just like that. So, and I thank every single one of y'all. Thank y'all. And I love y'all very, very much. All
right. ReDiscovery proudly presents this certificate of completion to Tasha Acton, and the date is November 23rd, 2021. From his way, it says, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free."
That's true. Thank you.
So our next presenter tonight is Mike Ross. He's our program director, and I was thinking, Mike has taken over and moved our program from a 6-month program to a 9-month program. All 43 of those who have graduated have done it under his guidance all the way. And so I appreciate his leadership. I appreciate his encouragement. And tonight he's going to, as the leader of our Men's ReDiscovery Program, honor those graduating from it. So, Mike?
I'd like to recognize for our Men's ReDiscovery, we have some people that help us out there as well. One of them is right back here. Lance, stand up. And Lance Pepper. Lance helps every week with testing, getting the guys signed in, and getting them ready for class. And it just is a blessing to be able to work together every week and visit and be with the guys. Chad Camp is also helps lead our Bible study, and we'll talk about another man who stepped up to help us with that as well. Right now in our Men's ReDiscovery, I believe we have about 6 people. We just continue to grow, and it's been a great year in our program. And tonight we have 2 graduates. One of them cannot be here tonight, and I just want to say a little bit about him before we get to Chad. Perry Wright is our 5th graduate from ReDiscovery for men. And Perry is really interesting because Perry drove a long distance to come to ReDiscovery. He would drive from Birmingham, and then when he started working in Tennessee, he would drive down from Tennessee to go to ReDiscovery. So he was really committed to doing that, but he couldn't be here this evening. But I wanted to give him, to honor him, because he did a fantastic job. And I'm grateful for his commitment. I wish you guys could have met him. The man I have a privilege introducing tonight is Chad Miller. Chad is a former graduate, a 2017 graduate of our 6-month program, but was needing to go back through another program, but not having to come back to the 6-month program. And it's just been a pleasure to have him every week. He's worked really hard. He has a great attitude about things. And what's really cool about Chad is he's interested in being a positive influence on the guys. In fact, he's helping us to lead our Bible study right now, and it's just really a joy to see him every week. And I'd like for him to come up and Chad, share a little bit about your testimony with us. Chad Miller.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight? It's kind of funny, man, that it says, you know, the slogan for this is that you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. John 8:32, but John 8:31 is if you are truly my disciples. When I first came through here in 2013, man, Tom and Clyde, you know, they was like, you need a verse to stand on. You know, they'd be in there and this verse got me through so much, man. You know, through years of prison, years of just self-mutilation, man. You know, but a seed was planted in my heart when I came through here in 2013 because I was a lost soul, man. You know, but God had a plan for me, you know, and all the years that I self-inflicted pain upon myself, this verse was you know, in the back of my head, you know, the truth, you know, what is the truth, you know, and it took me really abiding into God and finding out the truth is Jesus, you know, and Jesus will set you free, and it, you know, and it, you know, it kind of goes in hand with my favorite verse, man, which is James 4:7-8. Submit yourself to God, draw near to Him, and He will draw near to you. You know, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. So, you know, every day that's what we got to do. You know, we got to first get up and submit ourselves to God, and then by doing the submitting, the devil will free from you, man. And I know there's a lot of men in here just like me that are dealing with demons every day, and to put ourselves through a lot, man. But this program right here will plant a seed, man. But the first step is you got to be submissive, you know. You know, and I thank God for this program, man. I'm going on 4 years clean. You know, this January. And because of this. But I ain't gonna get all into it. But just, hey man, it's a good place. Thank God for this place. And thank you, Mike Ross.
You can see Chad's really passionate about the truth, and he brings that every week as we study together. ReDiscovery proudly presents a certificate of completion to Chad Miller, dated November 9th, 2021. And you've already given the verse, and we are grateful that you're pursuing His way. Amen.
Thank you.
And one of my responsibilities is to regularly have a weekly class with our advanced recovery group. I've done that pretty much since we've started His Way. We have now had tonight our 67th graduate from our 1-year program. Many of the guys who complete our advanced recovery group become staff members, and this one is no exception. Clayton Hagan is now one of our house managers and helps manage the responsibilities around here in one of the houses and keeps an eye on a number of our residents and kind of encouraging them and making sure that their needs are being met while they're here. So Clayton works as a full-time auto mechanic at Pro Auto during the day and then converts into his superhero role as house manager at night and saves souls. So I want to invite Clayton up. He's going to share with us for a minute. I'm proud of Clayton. He's grown a lot. He's really taking his spiritual life seriously, and that I enjoy. One of the things I was telling someone about Clayton, particularly I appreciate, is he doesn't necessarily give you a lot of big words and a lot of big promises. He just does big things. And I appreciate that spirit. I appreciate that conviction. He's a man of action. I've never seen him, anything given to him that's not done well and done right and done immediately. And I appreciate that, and very proud of Clayton. So if you want to come up and share with us for a minute, and then I'll have some things to present you.
Well, first off, I want to thank all my family, my brothers at His Way, and all the amazing staff and volunteers. It's truly been a blessing to be with y'all. So I came into this program a year ago, not knowing where my life was leading me to. After many years of substance abuse and trying to escape real-world problems, God finally stepped in. It was one night while I was in Madison County Jail that I heard him tell me that it was okay and that he had put me on this path. And it was at that moment that I felt a peace come over me. I decided to surrender to the will God had for me. It was time that I got out of my own way. The Lord has blessed me with so many amazing gifts: grace, mercy, a great job, a relationship with my family again, many brothers, actual friends, and most importantly, my purpose. All my life, I always thought my purpose had to be something so great as a professional athlete or an entertainer, something along that line. But now I know that my purpose is a child of God. Spreading joy, love, and faith, that is something great to me. Thank you.
For our one-year graduates, we always give them a Bible that has their name engraved on it. And so I'll give you this to hopefully use well, wear out, and let this become truly your best friend. And it says, Clayton, congratulations on your successful completion of His Way's Advanced Recovery Program and your addition to our house manager staff. You are the perfect addition to our His Way family and staff. I'm so proud of your willing servant spirit. Your faith allows you to do whatever is asked of you without hesitation and boldly. We are all so very proud of you. In this Christmas season, it's very evident that God is with you. Emmanuel, love in Christ. Congratulations. And we have the certificates. His Way proudly presents this certificate of leadership to Clayton Hagan. He entered, sought, found, started living His Way, now successfully began leading His Way, dated November 19th of 2021. Congratulations. This Christmas season is more than a variety show, as certainly the Grinch discovers, right? And the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's much more than that. This season is about Emmanuel, God with us. In Isaiah 7:14, the prophecy of Isaiah is expressed, which later is confirmed in Matthew chapter 1, where it says, "Therefore the Lord Himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call His name Emmanuel," which means God's with us. Joseph has an angelic announcement in a dream of the very same idea. And through the gospel accounts, people are discovering, as you read the Gospels, they're discovering in their experience of Jesus this reality that truly God is with us. There's a story in Luke chapter 7 where a widow is walking out of the city of Nain, grieving her only son's death. Jesus stops the procession, interacts with the woman, prays and prays for her son. Her son rises up out of his coffin alive and is restored to the family. And interestingly, the people say, God is with us. This is God. God has done this. His presence is being made known. And for so many of our guys, they come with a faith that hopes God will do for them. They pray that verdicts will be changed, opinions will be changed, that forgiveness will be granted, that lives will be repaired, that relationships will be restored. But what they come to discover in true sobriety is that it's not my will, it's thy will be done. It's about God being with us. I recently went to court the other day with one of our graduates, Colton Fikes, and he was going to court to see if he could reduce his 20-year sentence down to 4, in which that was granted. But I found it interesting when I talked to him that while his lawyer was requesting that, at the same time, he was good either way. He figured if he had 20 years, God had put him 20 years to do something. If it was 4 years, God had him 4 years to do something. Either way, God had him there to do something. That his presence was the most important thing. That his involvement in his life was the only thing that ultimately mattered. And these final 3 graduates share one of the fundamental beliefs. If God's presence is with me, then his highest aim is for me to be with him. So then why would God bring anything in my life that I can do without him? You know, I hear people say all the time, wow, I know that the Bible says to do that. I know God's coming to it. There's no way I can do that. There's no way I can do it. And my point is, yes, absolutely, that's correct. The whole point is, God doesn't want you to be able to do it by yourself. He wants to do it with you. So therefore, he calls us to things that are incomprehensible, things that seem impossible. But none of those things are impossible with God. And so as he is with us, those things become possible. And so the greatest Christmas present we can realize is his ever-present presence within us.
Hello, how's everybody doing? I guess I know most everybody here, but for those that don't, hello, I'm John. Man, I got some things I want to say, but I just hope I can get them all in order here. But I guess I'll start with why I'm here. I've been an addict since the late 70s. I'm 58 years old. I turned 58 Friday. I've been an addict my whole life. I've been married twice. So I've been married a total of about 40 years. I got 5 kids. And I was a functioning addict for years. That's what I considered it, you know. I took care of my business, my family and everything. I made enough money where I could do drugs. And it wasn't taken away from my family and stuff. But through the years, I went to prison 3 times. And I took some biblical studies and stuff in Mississippi. It was great, you know, just to be there and be able to do that. There's only 2 prisons in Mississippi that have it. And out of 50 prisons, I got sent to one. So I was real lucky. You know, and I believe God did that. And he put his word in my heart. When I left that penitentiary, I came home and I knew if I didn't do something, you know, serving some type of way, I'd fall away. And I did after a little while. You know, I called Limestone Penitentiary, I called Madison County Jail, everybody, and asked them if I'd come in there and do a Bible study, just share the word. And they said, man, we got a long list of ordained ministers, you know. So I couldn't find anything to do, and I wasn't thinking about the small things. I was thinking about something big, and it didn't work out. And so I fell away, got back on drugs, and I become an opiate addict and turned into a heroin addict and a meth addict. And I did that for about 10 years, and you're talking about wrecking something. It takes everything, you know. It's the biggest tool Satan has, and it comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and he uses it, and it does it. I've lost marriages. I've lost relationships with my kids. I did things that, you know, I'm ashamed of, a lot of things. I mean, I was serving the devil, you know, the way I looked at it. I'd give a first-time person using heroin, I'd give it to them and give them the needle to do it with, you know. I'm ashamed of it, but the Lord loves me and has forgiven me, you know, and coming to his way. I was in another program for 4 weeks, and I worked 4 weeks and got the money to come here. And thank God, when I come by one day and Michael Barchetta got me right in. So, and I feel like that was the Lord working on me too, because it took 2 days and I came in. And I didn't even want to come in. I wanted to go party for a day. And Mike said, no, you come today, you know what I mean? So, but, the Lord, with the help of this program and the tools you get from MRT and just the spiritual journey and all the teaching, Tom's teaching and stuff, I believe everybody that comes to this program has a spiritual awakening of some type. A lot of guys come through here, they're not saved, and many of them get saved, but I believe all of them, they're going to get that word planted. I've never met a man, that has more of a heart for planting the word in somebody than Tom Reynolds, And Mike right here, he's steadfast in what he does, and Jim, I don't want to forget anybody, all the staff here are great people, and they're doing what the Lord's got them to do. You can tell it when you talk to them, or when they're talking to you, they're doing this for the Lord, and they love you, and they want you to, they want everybody that comes through here to receive that word and, come to the Lord. It does, not everybody does, but I don't know what the percentage is. I think most everybody does. But I'm real thankful to all them. Thank God that he brought me to this program, because I'm 58 years old and I didn't know how to get sober. I tried a bunch of different ways. It'd last for a week. You know what I mean? And my pride always told me I could do it on my own. Like I said, I lost marriages, everything, and I was too stupid. When my wife leaves with the kids, I'm still doing drugs, But it's hard when you're an addict and you're feeding your flesh. We're trained to that, and it's hard. Somebody's got to help you, and there's no shame in reaching out and asking somebody to help you, And I didn't want anybody else to help me. I don't even like speaking in front of people, you know what I mean? I've never spoken in front of anybody. This is about the second time I gave a testimony at church this morning to practice. You know what I mean? But I want to thank my sister for helping me get here and not giving up on me. She's about the only one in my family that didn't, But and I just hope that, everything I learned here and stuff, I pray to God as I stay on this path. And there's a scripture I want to read. This. I read this in Mississippi, and man, it stuck with me. And I knew when I left down there, if I didn't do something for God, I wouldn't make it. I'll read this to you. It says, all right. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that you should obey it in the lust thereof, neither yield your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace. And, it says that who you yield your members to, you become a slave to. And I was a slave to sin. My last 5 years of my addiction, I was an evil person, But now I found a way to serve. I figured it out while I was here. You know what I mean? If it's the smallest thing, you can serve. You know what I mean? You can have a private ministry just helping the people around you, live a godly life and stuff like that. There's a lot of young guys that work here. God bless me. And I got to open my business back up that I lost. And Doug Stardner sitting back there, was probably the best friend I've ever had, because I've never had a friend that didn't want me to do drugs. And that man right there has got a good heart, I don't know if he's going to get mad at me, but one day I was up in his room talking about business, and there was a note on the desk, and I picked it up, and it said that you can judge you can judge your accomplishments by the accomplishments of the people that you're helping. That's not how it was worded. But Doug told me that word come from Clyde Jones. But, that's something that stuck with me. So I've got guys that work for me, and I'm no angel. A long ways from it. Being in prison 3 times hardens your heart. But I love these dudes that work for me, and I get to be a mentor to a couple of them, and I thank God for that. So I just hope I stay on the right path and everything and do that. I just moved across the street. I was afraid to move too far away. You know what I mean? I swear, it's terrible. But I love all y'all, and I thank you. That's about it.
First of all, I want to thank God for y'all's support, coming out, y'all's love, and so grateful for that, because, during these times and seasons, I know I can't do it all by myself, but I'm very thankful, for the program, staff, y'all brothers and everything. Even the little smallest things that I have seen from each and one of y'all each day, was uplifting to me. So I just want to let y'all know that, y'all helped me out a whole lot, as well as staff, Mr. Jim, Mr. Tom, and Mr. Mike Ross, and the whole, everybody, that was in the program, especially y'all guys. Y'all don't know how much y'all helped me so much. But I got a little brief thing that I wrote. I just want to say that I thank God for how he had compassion and mercy in my life, as well as his unconditional love. To everything, there's a season. I try to be mindful each day, since I've been in the program, to get on my knees and pray to God, to start my day, since I've been in the program. By getting on my knees and praying, I would think about my brothers and sisters, out there in the world, even in the program, how I can be a light to them, how I can witness to them and tell them what God has brought me out of. The Bible says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. And reading God's commandments and his will, I know that I can't do this alone, especially during the times of my addictions, in and out of my life. These times was painful. I could just not accept being in the darkness anymore, because I knew there was a higher power that could bring me out of this. I thank God for his presence in my life, placing me around people, places, and things, because I couldn't do it. My life become unmanageable. I continued to stay in prayer while I was in my addiction, and I think one of my best friends, Jim Phillips, it's like pulling teeth to get me back in the program, because I was embarrassed, continuing in sin, with the DUIs and substance abuse, things like that, and I just couldn't take it no more. I have a scripture, one of my favorite scriptures. It said, therefore, if anyone in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. Amen. I'm so thankful for for God placing me around the believers in Christ in my life. I'm thankful for this program. I'm just thankful for God, how he just dealt with me and just blessing me, with a job. And when I first came into the program, I came with nothing hardly, so, I've come a long way. I'm so thankful for that. And in this program, it can't get no better than this. I advise anybody that got a loved one out there in the streets or whatever to come to His Way program. It's very well structured, and These people are serious here, and there's a lot of love in this building. And I'm so thankful, for that, Thankful for this ministry, and I thank God for bringing me out of the darkness into the light, and now, as of today, I have plans. I didn't have a plan the first time I graduated, but now I have plans, to be among the believers in Christ, making new friends, changing phone numbers, and those sorts of things, staying connected to the program, staying away from trigger areas and that sorts of thing. So I'm just thankful, for God's presence in my life, and I really thank y'all for coming out. If you ask me, am I nervous? Yes, I'm nervous, but but I'm very thankful, and that's all I have, y'all.
Good evening. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out to support us all tonight. I want to thank my family for never giving up on me. I want to thank the staff for everything y'all do, for all the love and support that y'all show everyone that comes to His way. I want to thank Doug Stogner for the guidance and friendship that you show me daily. For me, I think what made the difference this time was accepting my addiction. In 2 Corinthians 12, Paul talks about having a thorn in his side. For me, that thorn is my addiction. He asked God to take it away 3 times, and God replied that His grace was sufficient enough. See, my addiction brought me to God, and that's who keeps me sober. In closing, I'd like to say to all the brothers, just slow down and truly give this place a chance. In God. And if you'll do that, I promise you'll get to exactly what you came here looking for, plus much more. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out.
And I wanted to read real quick, just kind of to highlight what he was saying. I appreciate the brother sharing. In 2 Corinthians 12, Paul says, "So to keep me from becoming conceited because of the surpassing greatness of the revelations, a thorn was given me in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to harass me, to keep me from becoming conceited. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord about this, that it should leave me. But He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." And it says, "For the sake of Christ, then I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I'm weak, then I'm strong." And I appreciate what John mentioned. I appreciate all the brothers that have basically said the same thing, that God's greatest gift, as Arzel was highlighting, is His presence in our lives. Just His daily, constant, ever nurturing presence in His life. And we can't ever assume that. We can't ever take it for granted. It's something that I know we have our devotional every morning, and there's always somebody who says we just need to pray for gratitude because God has us one more day. And it's so critically important that we not forget that. And one of the things that sobriety creates the opportunity for me to become the ultimate gift of God to the world. The best thing that this world needs from you, is your presence, is your engagement, is your commitment to be lovingly involved in the lives of others. God has sent each of us to a mission. As His presence is within us, He calls us to make our presence available for those around us. All right, so we're going to honor the last 3 graduates, our 9-month graduates. First of all, John Mullins. For all of our graduates in the residential program, they get a coin that they can hold on to and have in their pockets or in their wallets, wherever, just a constant reminder of the protection that they have in Jesus Christ and His ever-present protection. So, John, there's your coin. Thank you. And your certificate says, "His Way proudly presents this certificate of completion. John Mullins, he entered, sought, found, and successfully began living His way, dated November 15th of 2021. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Next, I got Arzel Flint. And here's your coin. And here's your certificate. It says, His Way proudly presents this certificate of completion to Arzel Flint. He entered, sought, found, successfully began living his way, dated December 4th of 2021. Congratulations. And last, but certainly not least, Mr. John Isbell. Here's your coin. And your certificate. His Way proudly presents this certificate of completion, John Isbell. He entered, sought, found, successfully began living his way, dated November 21st of 2021.
Let's pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we're grateful for this evening, and we're grateful for the changes that you've made in each of these graduates' lives over this period of time. We're thankful that you've taken what was broken and mended it and helped them to become a blessing to their families and to those around them. We pray that you'll just be with them and bless them as they go forward, and that they will continue to be light and salt and a blessing to all they meet. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.